everyone, and welcome to the Front Porch Knitter. My name is Lucy Ann, and I am here today, as always, in a scattered hurry to get everything recorded before I head off to parts unknown. And this week I am headed to New Brunswick to hang with my parents, because that's what we do, and to see some knitty friends and, you know, just do all the things. I'm kind of excited. I have quite a few things going on, and I have some exciting news. So yeah, I guess we're going to get to it. Welcome to those who are returning, and if you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy our content. Our content, like the royal we. That's me. I'm it. That's all there is. Just me. But that's okay. We're going to, and if it's a little weird, I'm testing a new camera. So I'm recording on my phone and my camera at the same time. So they're more or less in the same place, but I might do that weird thing where I look somewhere where I shouldn't be. So sorry about that. I can't help it. It's human nature. We're going to figure out what works best. Yeah, this is my little corner of the internet where we talk about my knitting adventures and a little bit of life stuff and whatever other crafts I'm up to. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I got a new mug. Want to see it? Look at that. Doesn't that look like spring? It's got sort of cold coffee in it. We are once again in a new spot. Life here at Shea Front Porch is a bit crazy. Yeah, just crazy life. That's just how it goes, I guess. Everyone's life is crazy. It's just whether you can handle your own craziness or not. So we're going to get started, and we're going to talk about, I have my trusty notebook with lots of notes and things to do in it. So I'm kind of excited about that, because that means I'm sort of organized. And you guys might think that's kind of crazy, because that's not normally what happens. What am I wearing? I am wearing my Autumn League pullover. This is in Lime Brand cotton jeans, and I think this is the light gray color. Autumn League pullover is by Two of Wands, so check that out. Lime Brand does kits for them, and they're often on sale. So yeah, it's just like a warm sweatshirty hug. Split hem, the little neck detail, which I really like. I think I've talked about it before on the, I'm sure I've spoken about it before. I'm sure I've worn it before. So yeah, I really like this one. It's one of those great throw-on sweaters. And when it gets a little bedraggled looking, I just toss it in the washing machine, and I actually also put it in the dryer for a little bit, because that helps it snug back up, and then I can wear it for a while, and then it'll get kind of raggedy looking again, and we start over. It works perfectly. Do you love the so the lovely aesthetic of the sheet of plywood? Believe me, this room, what is out there, out of the range of the camera, is a total tip. Like, it is just, yeah, beyond. But that's okay. That's my chaos, and that's okay. Good, so let's talk about finished objects. I have a few. I have a few that I don't actually have with me that I'm gonna, fingers crossed, pop pictures in somewhere. Hopefully, or maybe over me talking about them. And so first I'm going to show you the things I have with me so you can see them. And I am going to try and get a picture of this. Oops, it's inside out. I can tell because there's this random string in here. It's not an end. It was a break in the yarn, I think, that it will felt. So this is my Saturday shrug, and it is knit in Mary Maxim Prism, which is 100% acrylic color changing yarn in these kind of pretty colors, which I really like. Held with a strand of the dodgy mohair that I got in a D-stash on Facebook Marketplace. So I'm not I'm not absolutely certain. There were no labels. I'm not absolutely certain it's mohair at all, but I didn't pay very much for it. And this is very soft, and I have worn it. And I'm going to show you the one way I wear it, which is, and then because I'm making another one. Like, I highly recommend it. So I wore it like this under my, just under my jacket. And when I flew to the East Coast a few weeks ago, and oh my goodness, it was the best thing on the plane. And I can't really do it over this sweater, but you can then, this isn't a very good picture of it, but you can then pull it down over your shoulders like a capelet. So on the plane, when I took my jacket off, I still had, this is a very poor demonstration of it, but because my sweater's a bit heavy. So I had this over my shoulders. It was so comfortable. Like, I'm going to do another one in, I actually have an alpaca and merino blend out to hold with some mohair to do this. You'll see it when I cast it on, but so I'm really looking forward to it. But it's such a versatile piece, and if you travel, it is great. It is also great. The other thing I really like about it is we went for a drive the other day. My husband's sister had a significant birthday to mark. We shouldn't talk about women's ages on the internet, so we won't. And it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And I didn't want to wear my jacket in the car because I get too hot. So I just kept this on and pulled it down over my shoulders. It was perfect. So I can see this being like a great long car ride piece. And so although I love these colors, I'm going to do another one too. I might do a couple more because I think they're really versatile. And it's just ribbing. It's called the Saturday Shrug. And I will put down below who it's by. I should be able to tell you right off the tip of my tongue, but I can't. I think it's a free pattern even. Not positive, but I think so. And I knit it because Amanda Clark of Sweet Skein of Mine had it. And I just always thought every time she posted it on Instagram, I kept thinking, like, that is such a versatile piece. And it really is. It's also warm on my neck. So that's my Saturday Shrug. And because it's just ribbing and around and round and round, it is also great mindless knitting. I think I would make it a bit longer the next time. That's the only thing I would change. Just because it would then feel like it would come down more. And I did do the tubular cast on and bind off. So it has a really nice finished edge. If I get a chance, I'll take a better picture with it pulled down so you can see it, but I'm not sure when that's going to happen because, you know, I have to get up at 4 a.m. and it is 4:45 in the afternoon. I have to get up at 4 a.m. tomorrow morning to catch my flight. And that's how I roll. Okay, the next thing on my list is that beautiful cabled sweater I was working on, which was from the, the old flyer from Sweetbriar. The yarn was called Sweetbriar. And it's already been gifted. Well, not gifted. I knit it for my aunt to give to her grandson, and she has given it to him. And I do not have pictures of it on him, but I do have a flat picture of it, which I will put in here somewhere so you can see it. It turned out really well. I'm really happy with it. And I have to say the Berroco Vintage DK was the perfect yarn for it for a 12-year-old boy, right? Like, when you knit things like that for kids, they have to be washable, but it was the right balance of stitch definition and the resiliency of wool, but still really easy to look after for his mom. Because who wants to give their boy something that you have to mess around with all the time? Nobody wants to do that. So you'll see a picture of that in here. I'm pretty excited about it. My mom's muscle burrow, which she really liked, and good daughter, negligent podcaster. I didn't take a picture of it, but I'm going to her place tomorrow, so I'll get a picture of it and insert it before I upload the episode so that you all can see it. The Leo and Roxy Spruce. I did it in the Leo and Roxy 7520, I think it's 7525 blend in the colorway Spruce. The Spruce was perfect. It was just such a nice, oh, I see it. I see the remainder. I'm not going to get up and go get it. That just will be irritating for you people. But it was just perfect. The amount of, it's very tonal, but enough variation so that it doesn't feel flat. Like often, like a commercial yarn, if you get a color, like a solid color, it's very flat. Whereas that's the amazing thing about hand-dyed yarns, is those single colors are very tonal and have enough variation to make them interesting. So that was kind of cool. I have some weird shadows going on here on my nose and things. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's all I can say. So I'll pop in a picture of that, maybe even on my mom, if she'll model for me. And I got my dad's socks finished. I mean, they were just Croy vanilla socks, like nothing exciting. I probably will not get a picture of them because he's probably worn them and they probably don't look their best anymore, but that's okay. That's what I want him to do. I want him to wear them. And I also, and this hasn't been blocked, right? Horrible podcaster, that's me. This is my Bolton Pass Hat. This was the group Caston at the Atlantic Fiber Winter Gathering. And we had such a great time. I love this hat. It's an espace tricot free pattern. And you could wear it like this, or you could brim it up a bit if you wanted. And once it's blocked, it's not going to have all this pointiness going on because it is a oh, there, beautiful hair. It is a 4-point decrease. And I think once it's blocked, it will, you know, that'll disappear. This is made out of a yarn I really love, Juniper Moon Patagonia. It is a, this is what was left of the 100 grams. I don't think I used 50 grams. It is Juniper Moon Farm Patagonia Organic Merino. 100 grams is 350 meters. So it's somewhere between a sport and a DK, but I've used this yarn before, and I know that when I wash it, it is going to plump up and fill out. Now, I made the largest size because I have a big head and a weird shaped head, so I really need it to come down around the back of my head really well. And I find if I have a couple of hats, I really like the way they look and all those things, but after a while they squidge up my head, and that's because they don't really fit me. So I'm going to end up giving them away. But this one does fit really nice, and I really like this color. The colorway is cinnamon, and I wouldn't wear it rolled up. I would wear it like this and a little bit slouchy. That's how I would wear it. It's not the thickest hat because it's just not, but it is very rustic wool, so it's going to be warm and cozy. And honestly, I have a lot of hair. I don't wear hats a lot, and yeah, it'll be perfect. And the next time we're all together, we're supposed to wear our hats. So you see it has this twisted rib detail. And so this is the Bolton Pass Hat. It is an espace tricot pattern, and it is free on Revelry, and I think maybe on their website. I'm not sure, but I do really like it. And it was our group cast on at the Winter Gathering in Sussex a few weeks ago. So that was kind of exciting. So those are my finished objects. Now I have half a finished object because I'm pretty sure this was still a work in progress. This is my Not So Vanilla sock pattern that is just in my head and that people keep telling me I need to write it up. So I think I am going to do that. I'm going to finish this second sock, which I did just, let me find it. I cast it on today. So there's almost nothing done on it. Like literally almost nothing done. The pop of color and the first round in the main color is all I have done. This yarn is that yarn habit, and the main color is Fairy Dust is Like Love, and the contrast color is Mushy Peas. This was a sock set, and I really like the way it looks. It has a textured leg, pop color, 2x2 ribbing, textured leg, heel flap and gusset, and just a pretty basic toe that I always do the same toe. So I have one done, and I really like it. I love these colors, and I really like the way this one fits too, so which is nice. So I am going to get the second sock done. I am going to write it up, and I think rather than put out a tester call, I'm going to ask some people who I know well, who are avid sock knitters, who will give me some feedback, and we'll go from there. But I'm kind of excited about it. It's kind of fun. And look, it's on a sock blocker, because you know I never remember to do that. So that is sort of all the finished. Oh no, I have another finished-ish thing. Like, I don't, this is less finished, half finished than that one was. It is in my so those were in my medium zipper bag from Two Sticks and You, and her shop isn't open yet. Again, she's still undergoing some health issues. And it's my little lumberjack gnomes with my, so that is what my not so vanilla socks are. And this is my lovely bag from my friend Heidi. Just a little drawstring bag, little pouch, perfect size for socks. She does not sell bags, that she just makes them for her friends. And I have, I don't know if this can go on my one Nord sock done. So this is a DK sock, and the pattern, so it's all done but the heel. The pattern is by Nancy Wheeler, Knit Sip Happy. And can you see? It's DK. It has this lovely pattern up the front, and up the back is just a little twisted, like a twisted seam. I'll feel like a lady from the 30s or 40s with my nylon seam up the back of my leg. And I have to put in the heel still, the markers there for where it's going to go. I haven't really tried them on. I did the leg a little shorter. I always, when I do DK socks, I always worry I'm going to run out of yarn, because, and I shouldn't have, because these are knit, and I love this. The second one is started. There goes a needle with my Grinch out of season needle or stitch stoppers on it. This is knit in Regia Tweed 6-ply. Can we get a, how's that, better, worse? It's got a lot of glare on it, I'm so sorry. It's the way the light's coming in from the window is really flat, and the ring light's just reflecting. Regia Tweed, and it's this lovely, it doesn't have a color name. The color number is 0090, but you can see the little flecks of color in it. And what I love about this is because, you know, if 100 grams of DK is close for a pair of socks, this is 150 grams, 375 meters. So I really shouldn't have any trouble at all getting a pair of full size. I'll probably get 2 pairs of socks out of this based on that leg length. I will put in an afterthought heel, and yeah, so that's Nancy Wheeler of Knit Sip Happy, her new DK pattern, which is the Nord socks, and they'll be linked below, so you'll be able to check those out. I'm not sure when this is going up. She did have a special on her patterns, but it's only till the 29th, which is tomorrow, and it is unlikely I will get this up before then, so I'm sorry if you missed it, but follow her on Instagram. My little gnome on there. He's very cute. I like gnomes. Can you tell? It's on my bag, on my pin. So let's have a look at what the works in progress are. It is once again, so I never have a huge number of whips, and I only have one that I can, besides blankets, because they don't count, I would consider a long time whip, and that is my twist and turns shawl, which I have not worked on since last time, although I did work on it just before the last episode. But I sort of know where I'm at, so I could work on it again. But I am working on, so it's Croy yarn, and what I have done, it's kind of random, I've just knit a big long tube. Like I put the ribbing on, knit till I had this much yarn left from the ball, and I will put heels and toes on this in navy blue for my dad. And then so this is really the third sock, but I started the second sock because I started them with 72 stitches and that was going to be way too big. So I did then I abandoned the first sock, knit the second ball of yarn. There's 2 balls of Patons Kroy on 64 stitches. Then unraveled the parts of the first one and started it again. And this colorway is the deep end. So it's Patons Croy Sock. And the colorway is, you probably can't see that, the deep end. And this is a bag by, it's just a little sock pouch, the knitting bag, PEI. So that will be my plain knitting probably tomorrow because it's just round, it's in the round and round and round stage, and I'm just knitting till it's done. And then I'll put the heels and toes in because I'm down there for 10 days this time, so I'll have time to put the heels and toes in while I'm there. And my dad will have another pair of socks, which will make him happy and my mother happy, and will mean I won't have to darn them as often because that's a thing, having to darn them so much. Oh, and so my next work in progress, this is crazy. So I have my Not So Vanilla sock, I have the socks for my dad, and I have my Nord socks. So I have 3 pairs of socks. And then I have this beauty, which I have to wind up more yarn to take with me because I'm almost done the first 2. This is, I'm not thrilled with the way the ribbing is laying, but even when I put it on, but I think when I block it, it will be better. So hopefully. This is the Sea Glass by Wool & Pine, and normally this is designed to be like to use scraps, but I am doing it using a skein of Leo and Roxy in the colorway Alphabet Mafia. It's one of their Pride colorways, which I really like. And the other color is Leo and Roxy, and I don't know what this one's called, but it's their Leo and Roxy Basics, the navy blue. I think it's called, I can't guess. I'll link it below. But I really like this. And so it gives you this really great, because there's so many colors in the Alphabet Mafia, and the navy blue just sort of blends it all together. And this is a Wool & Pine, it's the Sea Glass tee by Wool & Pine, so it's a fingering weight t-shirt. It is quite heavy because it's all 1x1 color work, so you're carrying the floats in the back. But I think it's going to be perfect for the knitting cruise because it'll just be a little bit heavier, but not a sweater. And it's nice and thick. I really love the fabric. I might end up doing surgery on the collar. I'm not sure. I don't like the way it looks right now, so it'll be interesting to see how blocking affects it. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, these are the first 2 balls, and I have 2 more, 1 of each. So I still have lots to go. Just looking, found something in here that I needed to pull out because it's an acquisition. So I'm working on that, my sea glass tea. And if you can believe it, that's all my works in progress. But I do have, sitting here behind me, a few, what is this? Oh, these, so this is in a Bling Your String zipper pouch. And I will link that below. I bought this from Marissa at Pretty Little Yarn from her shop. I have this skein, and I don't know if I have, yeah, it's, I've had this in my stash for a long time, and you can tell the ball's a mess. I started knitting it a couple times. I don't love the way the pooling happens when you just knit it. I haven't found the perfect project for it, but it's a handmaiden, and it is their Casbah base, which is merino, cashmere, and nylon. And fingering weight, I'm looking to see. Yeah, a little bit heavier, 325 meters, 355 yards to 115 grams. So it's a true 4-ounce ball. I am going to hold it double, do from the inside and the outside, and do the button trick that Nancy on Knit Sip Happy talks about, that she does. And I'm going to knit a Sophie Scarf. I want something for when we're on the cruise, for around my neck, that isn't too heavy, but we're there in May, and it's Alaska, and I don't care, like the temperatures, it's not gonna be hot, that's for sure, and whatever the temperatures are, you can never go wrong with a little scarf that you can take off if it gets too warm, or you can pull up more around your neck if it gets too cold. And so I love these colors. Like, the colors are for sure my jam. It's just that, yeah, I've started knitting it a few times and not loved the project, but I thought the Sophie Scarf, if I hold it double, will change the pooling so it won't be so obvious. So I have this in a bag to go with me, because if I finish those vanilla socks, I then have no absolutely mindless project. And then, this is also a 2 sticks and you bag. This is the large zipper. My friend Robin Oakes from Close Knit Friends Yarn Shop and is doing a knit along for a couple of teas, one of which is the salty air tea. So there were 2 teas we had the choice of, and I've had the yarn balled up. It started February 1st. Have I cast on yet? Nope. I think it ends March 31st or maybe later. The goal is to wear your tea to Fiddlehead Fiber Festival, which is April 12th and 13th in Florenceville, Bristol, New Brunswick. And so if I start mine now, I'll have it done by then, because I knit faster than a lot of the other people do, which is fine. And it is in yarn, and the yarn is Yarn Indulgences. This is her older silk linen base. She has a new silk linen base. I bought this at Fiddlehead last year, so it's appropriate that I'm knitting it this year. And I love the color. So it sort of reminds me, and maybe that's what it's supposed to be, red rock. It reminds me like of Prince Edward Island clay, or, yeah. It feels lovely. I really like it. And I am doing the Salty Air Tea by, I'll put it down below, because we should never ask me to remember things. It just doesn't really work very well. But I will get that information to you. And I'm taking it with me. It's in my lovely bag. I don't think the needles are in here yet. I should leave it out to make sure that happens. The other bag has the needles already in it, but I better put the needles in there so I can cast that on, because my sea glass is at the round and round the body, so I also don't have a really interesting thing to work on. So if I take that and start the yoke, have the yoke for my Salty Air to work on, that will be good. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm working on, along with, and I haven't done much on them, my blankets, and I can see the pot holder that was partly done in the last episode is in exactly the same place. And unfortunately, because everything got moved, I'm not certain where the hook is right now. So, because it's crocheted. But, you know, it'll turn up. So I have a couple of blankets on the go. I have all these projects like in bags, just ready to cast on. I have so many things I want to knit. And then I on Instagram and I watch videos and I go, oh, I want to knit that too. And I am trying really, really hard not to buy very much yarn. And I'm sort of being successful. Not as successful as I would hope. Okay, we have really crazy windy weather here right now. And I don't know why my ring light keeps going off. And it's overcast and it's an awful day. And this overhead light's not really doing much for me. We'll figure it out. You guys can handle it. I know you can. Because I know you know that I'm not that fancy professional kind of podcaster. I'm me. That's what I like. That's who I like to watch. So that's who I am. I really enjoy watching podcasts where I feel like I'm sitting and knitting with a friend. And when it gets too polished and those people wouldn't be my friends when it's all that polished stuff, because they would think I was a scattered-brained, I'm not going to say idiot because I'm not an idiot, but just, you know, I'm me. I'm who I am. And I'm enjoying my new cup. Okay, so let's look at some acquisitions, because I did just say I'm trying really hard not to buy too much yarn. So I did really, really well at the, I guess the first thing is when I was in Florida. When I was in Florida, let's see if I can get to these easy. I went to Creativity, C-R-I-A, like a baby llama, or baby alpaca, whichever one it is. Tivity, T-I-V-I-T-Y, alpaca. I'm pretty sure it's a baby alpaca. And I like going into yarn shops in different places. I've been there before. I was there last year on local yarn shop day, and you always meet neat people, and it's always fun. And I am not fiddling around with that thing anymore. I'm going to apologize that the light sucks, and we're just going to go with it. And we're going to turn it off because now there's a strobe light happening here in my, I don't know why it keeps timing out. It never used to do that. It might be feeling its age. Anyway, Creativity. I love going into local yarn shops because you meet neat people, right? Like you end up chatting with someone, and she mentioned to me, and I wish I'd known ahead of time, but it was, by the time I found out it was kind of too late. The Tampa Bay area yarn crawl was on that weekend, and had I known before I went to the yarn shop, I could have planned my time a little better and maybe gone to a few other places, but I didn't. But I did get the map, so now I know where all the places are, and I can do my own yarn crawl anytime I'm in the St. Pete's area. I picked up 2 different yarns. I picked up this lovely KFI Luxury Collection Indulgence Sport hand painted in the color Rose de Paris. It is 100 grams, 312 meters. So I guess it's probably a sport. Yeah, it says right on it, sport. That's a good sign. It's a sport. But I really liked all the colors in it. And I will shamelessly tell you, because you guys have heard me say it before, I shopped the discount wall. This was almost half price. Mind you, in American dollars, so add 30%. But that's American dollars anyway. Anyways, I really like this. I think these could be a t-shirt or... I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I do really like them. And I really like the color. So I got those two, which I'm very happy with. And then I got this one, which is really cool. It's Well-Dressed Sheep, Great Adirondack Yarn Company. And the colorway is Butterfly in their silky sock. So it's a natural sock yarn, although it is superwash, which makes it less natural, but it doesn't have nylon in it. Oh, it does have nylon in it. I lied. 70% merino, 20% silk, 10% nylon. So it does. It's a superwash. But isn't that a great color? And it feels pretty amazing. I can see this in a muscle burrow. Or a really funky pair of socks. But it feels pretty amazing. So I was pretty excited about that. And it was half price. They have this whole wall of things that are discontinued colors. There's only 1 or 2 balls left, or skeins left. Discontinued lines, and yeah, they're really fun. I also got this really cute little snail measuring tape when I was there. Yeah, no idea where it is. It's in a bag. Obviously not one of the bags we just looked in, but in a bag somewhere. I am not sure which one. It'll turn up. Oh, I bet I know. Nope, it's not in that bag because I don't know what bag it's in. It's in a bag somewhere. It'll turn up. I'll show it to you sometime when I find it. I know you guys can handle that. And then I did a pre-order because I had a book on hold at the library. And yes, I am reading, what is the second one? Iron Flame? I'm actually not reading it. I'm listening to it. Yes. Iron Flame. And I really am enjoying that series. And Rhubarb and Honey had a pre-order for a Violet in their sturdy sock base, 420 yards and 115 grams. And it's 80% blue face luster, superwash, and 20% nylon. But look at those colors. Like, if you have read the series, I think this, you know, the black of her flyer uniform and the silver in her hair, and there's just all the things are here. Her, she has a black drag, she has 2 dragons. She's one badass babe. She has a black dragon and a gold dragon. So lots of, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Probably socks. Who am I kidding? I really like it. It smells like sheep. Good thing, eh? It's a good thing that wool smells like sheep. I think that's what's supposed to happen. Yeah, so I did a pretty good job. You know, that's 3 skeins of yarn. 4. That's not too bad. I went to the winter gathering in New Brunswick in Sussex. If you ever get a chance to do something like that, it was literally the most laid back. I'm sure the ladies who organized it was Nancy Wheeler from Knit Sip Happy, Deborah from Yarn Indulgences, Sophie Cormier from the Cozy Meadow Knits, and Manon Drolet from La Violette Knits, I think is what she is now. She used to be La Violette Yarn and Gift Co., but I think she's La Violette Knits now. The four of them organized it. I'm sure it was a headache for them, but for the rest of us, it was the most laid back, easy, amazing. I met so many new people. I not just met them, but connected with them, because we knit from like 4 o'clock Friday afternoon till 11, all day Saturday. We did the group cast on. We had a little marketplace. We had a group meal, like we had a reservation all at one restaurant and on the Friday evening there were about 40 of us there. I guess I've sort of jumped into talking about that in the middle of acquisitions, but that's okay. There were about 40 of us there, 40 something. At the top, I think there were 140 people in the room, all doing fiber crafts, whether it was spinning or cranking socks or weaving or needle felting or crocheting or knitting, or like everything you can imagine was happening that was fiber related in that room. And we basically just split the cost of the room, which was great, because it, you know, we weren't expecting to have classes, but the amount of education that happened in that room, and the amount of sharing, and the questions that were asked, and just the camaraderie, and the visiting. And we were at I think it was called the Atlantic Inn in Sussex, and their restaurant was amazing. The food was fabulous. And yeah, some people chose to stay one night, some people chose to stay 2 nights, some people chose just to come for the Saturday, and those were all options that worked for, like, whatever worked for you, you could do it. And I was there with my friend Heidi and my friend Robin, plus everyone, like lots of other people, and I made some amazing new friends. We sat with a lovely, 2 lovely women, Christelle and Karen, which was great. I don't even know. Karen is knitting with dudes on, like, labradoodles, dudes, that kind of dudes, on Instagram. And Christelle is a nitty thing. If I think of it, I will. But it was cool, like, to meet new people. It was just so nice. And yeah. Anyways, we had a little marketplace on this Saturday, which was great. And I got and it's a little bit dirty because I've used it quite a bit already. Oh, and I have a pair of chopsticks still in a pocket. It is this gorgeous bag from, I put the tag back on it so you guys would know where it was from. From Top Sale Canvas. The lovely Sadie Gagnon, I'm pretty sure that's her last name. Sadie's such a sweetheart. She makes these beautiful bags. I do have a Notions pouch too, but I'm not actually sure where it got to. And it's bright orange. I don't know if you can tell that. It is bright orange and burgundy. A nice burgundy. Heavy canvas. This is the selling feature. I'm really looking forward to taking it on the cruise, is really why I wanted to have it. I wanted to have that big bag, but it has amazing Velcro on it. It's really hard to get apart, but it has the sleeve to go over the handle on your suitcase for in the airport to make that easier. But when the Velcro's closed, this makes a pocket, like it could be a pocket. And it has a zippered pocket on the front, right here. And the inside, it's huge to start with, has all kinds of pouches and pockets. It has a D-ring for whatever you want to put on it. The inside canvas is just a natural canvas color as a box bottom, so it stands up. It's a little dirty because I did use it already. It is the right dimensions as long as you don't overstuff it, for your personal bag for under your seat. And I'm pretty excited that I got it. I'm really happy with it. It's making the trip with me to New Brunswick again. So, yeah, it's a very nice bag. And exactly the right size for my knitting projects. And like when I fly, I don't carry a big purse. Like when I travel, I tend, because honestly, we all have more crap than we need in our purses, right? Like more stuff than anyone actually needs. And so I tend to use, when I travel, I go in small purse mode, I call it. I did that air quotes thing. So I usually just take like a little crossbody purse or a fanny pack, or not a fanny pack really, but you know, a little crossbody bag. Just because that's all, honestly, everything you need will fit in there. You just accumulate things in your big satchel you tote around all the time, which is okay too, if that's your jam. It isn't mine, but that's okay. So what else did I get? So I got that. And then, look at this. This contains my little gifty things from Heidi and Robin. Robin gave me, well, she gave both Heidi and I, this gorgeous Illimani Santi 50 grams ultrafine merino baby alpaca yak silk 125 meters per 50 grams. It is like the softest, cushiest thing. I don't know what color this is. Oh, originally red. And a edition 3 Zauberball, and I chose this kind of black and gray color changing. And there's a pattern that goes with it, so that pattern, if I remember, and the two yarns work together in it. So I'm going to do that. Oh, this has to go out here. This is a separate show and tell. And then Heidi made me this, she made each of us one of these gorgeous bags, which I think needs to have a project in it to go away. I'm not sure which one. And in it she put a notebook, and she knows us, some chocolate, because who doesn't need chocolate, and a couple of minis. And these are, this one's a Polka Dot Creek in the colorway Celery, which is a little tweedy mini, and it's a DK mini. And this one is Ancient Arts Socknado Base Autumn Leaves, which I really like as well. These will probably make their way into a blanket. And she put, has her little handcrafted by Heidi label inside, and a little pocket. I just really like this kind of baskety shape. And I love this fabric, look at that. So I'm very excited to use that. The other thing we did at the gathering was we had a mini swap. So we each took, I did 5 bags of 5 10-gram minis. So if you took 5, you could swap 5. So these are the 5 I swapped. And somebody got my 5. I think some of these might be more than 10 grams, but this feels like it might be. All those gorgeous colors. So that is going to be maybe an advent project for next year, because 5 bags is 25 colors so I could make my own advent for next year. Because I haven't bought one. I'm going on this cruise, and I am going to buy yarn while I'm on the cruise. So I'm adjusting my budgeting spread a little bit because I think I need to. And then, what else do I have here? And then it was the Little Red Mitten's birthday party weekend. And, you know, I was out and about, and I was close to St. Thomas, and it is my local yarn shop, and there are no excuses. I'm a failure at not buying yarn. Anyways, I did get fiber. I really love this. This is Malabrigo Noob, and it is 113 grams of fiber, which you'll understand why I got fiber in a bit. But I'm really looking forward to that. There isn't, like there is, you can see sparkle, but it's not actually in the yarn. It is not in the fiber. It is on the outside of the fiber, staticking. So I'm really liking this. The color is Arco Iris. And they are both the same color, just obviously because it's fiber, the distribution of color will change. So I'm kind of looking forward to doing something with that, which will become more evident in a minute. And I also bought this Leo and Roxy, can you tell, color block tee. It's for the, I think it's the Friday tee. I don't know if these have individual, so the colors are, let me see if I can get them apart. The colors are Glow Stick, which that's blowing out a bit, but it really is, I don't know if it can blow out. It's like a pretty bright green. Midnight Madness. So it's a navy. And you're not going to lose me. Pink Flamenco. Like, you will be able to see me anywhere when I get this color block tee made. I'm looking forward to making it. It'll be fun to knit. I'm not sure if it'll get done before the cruise or not, but wouldn't it be perfect for when we're in Seattle ahead of time? In case you don't know, I'm my friend Heidi and I are going on the Grocery Girls Alaskan cruise in May. And so if I talk about it a lot, it's because I'm really, really excited. Joji Locatelli's going to be there. The girls from the ladies, the women, the designers behind Tin Can Knits are going to be there. Of course, Tracy and Jody. Beth McDonald Stone is on the cruise, as well as a ton of other people, and we're all getting to know each other in a Facebook group. It's kind of fun. And we're doing some shenanigans in Seattle in advance, and yeah, I probably will talk about it a lot. Sorry. I apologizing, not apologizing. Anyway, so I got those things, which was pretty exciting. And then here in Canada, so we're lucky we don't have to have our income tax done till the end of April, but I do try to get it done. My goal was the end of this month, and it didn't happen. I'm going to have to take my computer with me. And I sort of told myself I can't open this next thing until after I have all our income tax prepped and ready to go to the accountant. But because I was recording today, I did open the box. I haven't done anything with it, but I did open the box. I did it. I bought this. So it's not very exciting because it's in the box. I bought the E-Wheel Nano, whatever, the Nano e-spinner. I am not allowed to do anything with it until I get the income tax stuff done. I don't even think I'm going to take it with me to New Brunswick because that will just be a distraction. It's hard enough having it sit here in my sewing room, or in my knitting room, sewing room, knitting room. It's my knitting room, my sewing room's across the hall. Yeah, I am that woman. I don't really have that much space, but I do have 2 rooms where I store stuff. It's really, what it is my stash is too big for 1 room. Shh, don't tell anybody. As I put it on the internet. And yeah, so I'm kind of excited to get to work on that. I also got this tape measure at the winter gathering from my lovely friend Julianne. It's not very, I mean, it's a pretty tape measure, but it's just a tape measure. I got some stitch stoppers from her as well, and a little pouch that I'm not getting until I'm getting at Fiddlehead, because that's the next time I'll see her, so when I'm at the Fiddlehead Festival. And because I didn't get to record earlier today, I have 2 more things to show you. I also, these have been in my Amazon cart. You all know that I have and love, and it's over on my other table, the Caston Castoff from this series, and I gave one away on the last episode. And I have added cable left, cable right, and increases and decreases to that collection, because I really do think that, like, I love the other one so much, so I'm sure I'll use these a lot too. And although I know I can look up lots of things, sometimes I just like to have a book. I am a kind of a booky person. So I did, and I just ordered them on Amazon. I don't know if I can link them below or not. I'll try. I'll see what I can do. So if you want to check those out, those were exciting. I also got, I have another thing I got mentioning that, where did I put it? What did I do with it? I just had it. Here it is. The lovely Donna, who won the, was the lucky winner of the increase and decrease, or no, Caston Castoff book, sent me this beautiful, which I'm sure she made, or somebody she knows made, little thank you card with a very nice little note in it, which I really appreciate. And look at this llama knitting. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Little yarn balls on the envelope. And she also sent me this beautiful mini from Yarn Inc. in the colorway taffy. Look at those colors. Like, that's going to be something fun. That's going to go into a blanket and be beautiful, or into a scrappy project, or I just love it. Thank you so much, Donna. You did not have to do that, but I do appreciate it. I love getting Happy Mail just as much as anybody else does, which is the absolute truth. Yeah, so I think that's all the acquisitions that I have, which was an insanely large amount. So I know I always try and I talk about different things on here, and one of the things I'm going to talk about now is I've been spending a lot of time with my mom and my aunt, as returning viewers know. I took my aunt to Florida. She's my dad's only sister. My mom is there's only 2 girls in their family, her and her sister. And that's who I'm named after. My mom only has 1 sister. Her name is Lucy. My dad has 1 sister, and her name is Anne. And that's how I got to be Lucy Ann. And I do enjoy spending time with the 2 of them. And yeah, I'm lucky to be so close to my aunts. I know not everyone is as close to family, and I know that's not easy for everyone. Like, I know we all have different family situations, but for me it is a good thing. And recently, and I think I talked about the fact that it was happening, I got 2 sets of china. Now, I know some of you out there are going, oh my gosh, how did she end up with that? Because yeah, it's not a thing that's really, I don't know, China's like got this really bad rap these days. When I got married, it was a thing. Everybody chose this China pattern. Like, it was just, you did it. And that talks about how old I am. Although I had someone tell me today how old they thought I was. They thought I was 50. I was chuffed. mind you, I have a 35-year-old daughter. So if I was 50, that math is not ideal. I mean, it's not bad. Lots of people have that, but I was finished university. Anyways, my mom had several sets of china, and some of you may be able to identify. My mom had the set she got when she graduated from high school, I think. A local jeweler started, everybody got pieces or cup and saucer or something. And she had a few pieces of that, which didn't really last very long. And then she had a set of china that I'm pretty confident came, like you collected points at the grocery store. And that was what the china we got to use. That was like the everyday, not every day, but like the regular special occasion china. So we would use it at Christmas and things like that. And I had eaten off those dishes. But my mother also had this very lovely Royal Albert bone china. Let's move this out of the way and see if this gets any better. Well, that's probably a little truer. It is a very pretty pattern. The pattern is called Winsome. And she has, that was almost a big crash. She had, I think 12 place settings. Let's see what we can do here to adjust this color. I don't know. Nothing I'm doing really works. It's all just smoke and mirrors. But it's a pretty little, it's not necessarily a me pattern. Like, it's probably as good as it gets. Just no lights at all. I wouldn't choose, you know, little pink roses, but it certainly reminds me of my mom. So she sent me with her whole set, which includes things like vegetable dishes and platters, and this is the teapot. And I will tell you up front, as a child, we never ate off this. My mother probably started collecting this in her late 30s. And it was what she would get from her mom and my dad's mom and whatever. And I think she has 12 or, like, well, I have them now. I think I have 12 or 14 place settings. And it's lovely. But what I didn't want was the same thing as my mom. When I brought it here from New Brunswick, some of it was still in the plastic it came in. Like, it was still wrapped in the plastic that it originally came in. And I don't think, what's the point in owning something nice and then never using it? So I made the decision we were going to use it. And last weekend was our youngest son's birthday, not a special birthday or anything. And we had takeout and we used the china. And you know what? That's what we should do, because when we use the china, it reminds us of my mom. And it's kind of in a way like she's here with us, even though she's in New Brunswick. And I think we should use it. And I will readily admit, this china, which is fairly modern china, I put in the dishwasher. Okay, everyone, no nasty comments about it. That's how my life is. If I am going to have china and use china, I'm going to put it in the dishwasher. Nobody wants this china when I pass off this mortal coil. I can guarantee you that my children are not going to want it. It's just going to be another thing to them. But if we use it, it might be a special thing. And maybe somebody will want to take it and use it like I used it. And that would be amazing, because my mom values this. She thinks it is very special. And it would have been a sacrifice. It would be something she would not have been able to afford for sure. And so I'm happy to use it. Oh, sorry about that, but between the light being bad and my bum being sore, I had to move. So then the other thing I got, and I don't know, I don't think we talked about it, or maybe we did, is my dad's sister has been downsizing her home a bit, and she's giving thought, because she is recently widowed, and is giving thought to moving in. They live in the bungalow they've lived in since the early 60s. And so she's thinking about maybe selling it and moving into something smaller, which isn't such a big yard and all those things. And one of the things she has is this beautiful china, which is not Delftware. It's made in a different city, but it is the traditional. It's made in Maastricht, but it is it's bouquet bleu. It is a traditional blue and white Dutch china. It's not as fine for sure as the Royal Albert from my mum. But this china is very special. This I would not put in the dishwasher because it is, as my son says, pre-nuclear china. It is I don't know if it was my grandmother's mother's china, but it is at the very least probably from the 30s or 40s. And maybe older than that. There might be a date. Oh, it says 1943 on the back of it, I think. Oh, maybe I don't think that's the year, though. I think that number means something else. This china, during World War II, was buried in the backyard of my grandparents' farm in Holland, in a wooden box, carefully wrapped. It's an odd set. Obviously things are missing. I don't know if they ever existed. Like, there's no mugs, no cups and saucers or mugs or anything like that. There are soup plates, gravy boats, and a soup tureen. I do want to use them, but they won't be the ones we use all the time because they do need to be hand washed and things like that. But the story behind this china, for me, is as important as the fact that it was my grandmother's china. And nobody else wanted it. My aunt offered it to various people, and they didn't want it, so it is now in my possession. But it is in my kitchen. It is out and accessible, so I could use it if I wanted to, because I don't see the point in having something this beautiful and not having it where you can use it. Like, it is gorgeous, and the story behind it, and I know how much it meant to my grandmother. Like, they were very limited in what they were allowed to bring to Canada at the end of the war. There were rules about what could be brought out. Certainly not cash. It was easier to bring things than cash. And this china was important to her. So it was buried during the war. It came over here on a boat. It came over here on, I pulled this out, this boat. This is the boat that my grandparents and my dad and my aunts and uncles came to Canada on, the Waterman. And they landed in Halifax, and they are on the wall in Pier 21. It's part of my heritage. It's part of the story. And you all, if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I think these things are important. And I think it's important to honor the things that are important to your ancestors, and that life shouldn't be disposable. And so I'm really glad that I have these things. And I want to use them. I want my children to know about them. I want my children to know the stories about them. And I mean, my children, right? If you've been around for a while, you know my youngest is 26. So it's not like they're babies. But I think it's important for them to know some of these things, because otherwise you have no history, right? Like, that's part of your history. It's what makes you who you are. All of these things from your past and from your family's past. Okay, this is getting like a little maudlin. We don't need it to be maudlin. But yeah, so that's sort of all there is. I'm headed to New Brunswick. As I said, I have to get up at 4 a.m., be on the road at 4:30, and that is because in order to be sure I can get to the airport in Toronto by 6:30, I have to leave at 4:30, even though it should only take an hour and a half. But if I leave after 4:30, it could take 3 hours, because that's the 401. And if you aren't familiar with the 401, which is the highway that sort of runs east to west through the south of Ontario, Google it. It's just ridiculous. But So I have to get up at 4, hit the road. It'll be fun. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I love about this flight is it leaves Toronto at 8:20 and I'm in Fredericton by 11 with the time change, like 11:30. It's perfect timing. So I'm looking forward to that. Spending a week down there. My cousin and her husband and their kids are going on holiday, so I'll be hanging out at their house, looking after the dogs, and spending time with my mom and dad, who live very close by. And we'll get some stuff done, and it's a bit of a thank you to my cousin, who normally does all the stuff for my parents, so this is a little thing I can do for her. Okay, it is now blowing up a blizzard outside, so the light it just got a lot darker outside really quickly, so the light in here is even worse. I'm sorry. And then I'm back here for a little while, she says. And then I forgot to tell you my big news. Fiddlehead Fiber Festival. I'm teaching a class. Well, not teaching class. I'm going to talk about a few things. Talking about fiber. So how different fibers behave and what kinds of projects you might use them in, and how to know if the composition of the yarn is right for the project you're doing, and just helping people feel more confident in knowing what to do to use a beautiful yarn in a sweater, even if it's not the yarn that's called for, and how to make that work. So I'm looking forward to that. Can you tell? I love to share and I like to talk. And I always find when I do something like this, no matter what the topic or what the area of, because I have a few areas of expertise which I have spoken on at various conferences over the years in different areas of study. And one of the things that I love is that I almost always walk away learning something that I didn't know. And I think that's part of why sharing and spending time with other like-minded people is so great. So that is coming up, and you can follow them on Instagram. I'll link them below as well. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get back to you sometime in the next 4 weeks. A little quicker than it was this time. There's always something going on around here, which is just how life is. Take care, everyone. I hope to be on my front porch again soon. I don't know, we haven't had winter and now it's blowing a storm out there, but hopefully the weather will get warm enough for me to be back on my front porch and we can hang out there. But in the meantime, have fun knitting, doing your crafts, do what brings you joy. Remember your craft is your craft and you make it what you want it to be. Happy knitting, everyone. Bye. Talk to you again soon.